YouTube. Now I'm bringing another dashboard to you that you can easily build with Excel without stress. In this dashboard, you're going to use this data set you can see here to kind of build this amazing dashboard where you can have your picture here, you have the chart here, and this dashboard is very, very interactive, so you can play around with colors and also play around with different designs and see how your dashboard is going to turn up. So I'm going to give you step-by-steps on how to build this dashboard in Excel. Once you're able to build this dashboard with any color of your choice, please post it on LinkedIn and make sure you tag me. So let's go straight into it. Okay, so you have your data set here. This is our data set that we're going to use. I'm going to put this data set in the description below so you can download this and try and then play around with this report yourself. So from this data set, we are building a pivot table, just a simple report of like probably 7 or 6 reports. That's the report we are building. So to do that, I'll go to Insert. From Insert, I'll click on Pivot Table. And definitely I want this pivot table on a new sheet, and this table is called table 1. So I'm going to click OK. So here, the first thing I want to do is kind of get the URL link for the product or for each of the products. So I want to get like a URL so that I can visualize an image in Excel, and you're going to see how that image actually works. So once I select product URL, you can see I have all the URL of the product here. So we specifically have 6 products, and this is the URL of all the 6 products. So the next report I'm basically going to do is I can practically copy this, so I don't need to go back and do the same thing over again. So the next report I'm going to build is regions by unit sold. So I'm going to look for region here. So I'm going to select region and also select unit sold here, unit sold. So this is my second report, right? And then I have region and I have unit sold. So one thing is you can format this correctly. So you can either highlight it like this, go to your own tab. From your own tab, you see the comma button, or you can use a shortcut Control-Shift-1, right? So I can copy this as well, so I don't need to start doing pivot table one by one. I can always copy and paste. So the third report I want to do is practically do a report of all the products by maybe different numbers. So I'm going to say product. So I have a product here. No, even this one I did products here. Probably I should do a region, not product. Sorry, I think I select product here instead of region. So I'm selecting region. So here I'm doing a product, and then I'm doing it by let's say I want to do it by units sold, or let me start by price. So price per unit. Now I'm doing price per unit, and it's kind of summing all the price up, and you know this doesn't make sense. I actually want an average price per unit, not the summation of all. So you can actually right click on that, and then you see show values as, and you also see summarize value by. So what we want there is average. So you select average, that's what we need, and you have average of price per unit. Then I'm selecting units sold. Summing that kind of makes sense because it's summing the units sold. I also want to look at the total sales and also the operating profits. So those are the numbers I want to look like. So this is my third report. So remember I said I'm going to create basically 6 reports, right? And the next report I'm going to create is I want to do a report of the retailers by profit. So how much does each of the retailers actually brought? So I can do copy of this one again and paste it. And here I'm basically going to select, just unselect this, unselect this, and just select the retailers. So here I have the report of the retailers. So retailers by operating profit. So the next report I'm basically going to do, so let me just do this and paste it here. So the next report I may want to do here is maybe I want to do a report of year and month, and I want to kind of compare the month-to-month change of the units sold, sales, and also profit. So basically, I'll just come here, select sales, and then also select units sold, right? Which is this 3. And then I'm going to select my retailer, and this time around, I'm going to select the invoice date, right? So once you select your invoice date, if you are using the latest Excel is going to create an hierarchy for you by default. And you can see the hierarchy here. So let me even reduce this. I think it's too big. So you can see the hierarchy here, right? So when I expand this and click this plus, I have the quarters and I also have months. So, but basically I don't need the quarters. So I can come here and just remove the quarters, and you will see that I have year, and then I have month and also day. So let me remove the month as well, which is the date as well, which is the invoice date. So here I only have year and a month. So when I expand this, I have 2020, the year, and I have 2021 and the month, right? So I have almost all of my reports now. But the next report I would like to create, I just don't want to have these guys alone. I want to create percentage of grand total for these guys, right? But I'm going to do that probably later. But let's start building our dashboard. So I'm going to rename this sheet, and I'll call this sheet report. That's the sheet we're working with. Then I'm going to create a new sheet, and this new sheet I'm going to call it dashboard, right? So dashboard. So in this dashboard, basically what I want to do is go to view first, switch off the grid lines, because we like our dashboard to look very neat and very nice. I'm also going to insert a shape and just put that shape at the top here. So this is me just kind of setting up the layout that I want for my dashboard, right? So you can set it up the way you like, but for me, I'm just doing something very simple. So let me duplicate this and also maybe bring this downward here. Maybe bring this downward here and make it a little bit bigger. Now, one thing I also want to do is decide on the color I want to use in my dashboard. So in the previous report I showed you, you can see I use blue and also use a color close to purple. So what you should do there to decide color, there are so many websites you can go to decide the color that you can use. One of them is Color Hunt. You can go to Color Palette. You can go to different websites. So I'm going to show you one now. So if you go to colorhunt.com, colorhunt.co, right, you can see different colors, designs, or ideas that you can actually borrow from. So let's say, for example, you want to borrow this one, right? Look at this combination. Doesn't this make sense? I think this make a lot of sense, right? So let's use this color combination. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this color code, and I'm going to use it in my dashboard. So let me use it with this shape first. So I'm going to select this shape, go to shape format, shape fill, and I'm going to go to more fill color. Then down here, I can paste my color code. Look at it. Just paste this color code here and click OK. So you see this is the color code. For the shape outline, I don't want any outline for this shape. So just say no outline, right? So I'll click on this one. The color should have been saved by now. So you can see the recent color. So I don't need to put the code again. So now I have my color set. So the next thing I want to do is I want to kind of have an image, something like an image here that will show an image of the product. So to do that, let me just reduce this first two column here. Let me just reduce this first two column here, and then this column from column 10 to probably like here. So I can expand this column 10 a little bit downward like this. So look at this. So I just basically expand this column 10, and this column D, maybe column D, I just expand that a little bit forward as well. So what I did is I create a space. But this is actually moving with my shape. I can show you how to do this later to disable that. But for now, let's just leave it there. We'll just do that way. So let me move my shape back up. So now, okay. So I'm going to reduce the size of this shape as well. Okay. Right. So one thing I'm going to do is, you can see the size of the shape that I created here. So basically the reason of creating this is to be able to have the picture here. And there's one interesting formula in Excel that can help you bring pictures into a cell, right? Bring pictures into a cell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say equals to a formula called image. So you can see that formula here called image, right? And you can see that the formula has different argument. So the first argument is what's the source of the image. So the source of my image is this one, right? So I'm going to do comma, and then what's the alt text? You want to show any alt text? No. So what's the size? I want it to fit the cell. So I can say I want it to fit the cell. So you can specify the height and the width, but let's just do it that way, and I click OK. So now it's showing that something is blocking this. So you have to make sure you enable your content so that you have nothing blocking this to show, right? So when I click OK again, you can see we now have a perfect image. Now my image does not fit my cell, so is there a problem in that? So probably I can just reduce the size, and then okay. So I think this looks perfect now. Now you notice that I only select the first one. So what about the rest? I want this dashboard to be a product by product dashboard in such a way that people should only select one product at a time. So I can create a slicer from here. So if you click here, you can go to Pivot Analyze, select Insert Slicer, and go to the list of this and just select product. So once I click OK, so I have the list of my products here. So I select one product. So it shows that this is only one product. So this dashboard will only shows one product at a time, just one product at a time. So let me take this dashboard to this my page here, this dashboard page, and just paste it here. So if you look at this, as I'm selecting this now, you will see that the entire product is changing. This product is changing, right? Okay, so we have the picture and we have our slicers, but let's design the slicers a little bit. The slicer should not just be like this. So one thing I like to do is it's always good to customize your own slicer. Do a little bit of customize to your slicer. Don't just leave it at the default. So how do you do that? You go to slicers. So here, when you click the drop down here, you see new slicer style, new slicer style. So you can click on that. I can give your own slicer a name. Let's say our Excel dashboard. So let's give it the name Excel dashboard, right? So what do we want to do in this slicer? So I don't want to do any kind of so many complex designs, right? Just simple design. So I'll just say select item with data. Any item that is selected with data, if an item is selected, just like this one is selected now, then I'm going to click format. And if that item is selected, just use the fill color of the color that we just talked about now, which is the color we just work with. So unfortunately for this one, you may need to click on more color and then use a custom color again and bring down your custom color. So remember our color hunt. So I'm going to go back there. You must have that in handy. So I'm going to go back there and copy this color that we're using again. So once I go back here, I'm going to paste that color here. And just click enter and then click OK. Okay, so I'm click OK. So right now I have this selected item with data should have this color. I can also change the color of the font to say the font should be white. So let's say font should be wider because that color is a little bit thicker. Now, unselected item with no data, how should that behave? Unselected item with no data, how should that behave? I think that should blend with our background, right? The color of that should blend with our background. But which background color should we use? Let's even start from there. For me, to make this kind of look more sense, I would like to use the same background color of this image. The same background color of this image, right? You can actually use a lot of tools as well to get like color picker to get the actual background color of this image. So if I do format right now and I go to fill and I say more color, so custom, so you can do color picker to kind of know the color code of this background. But I have the color code in handy already. So the background color code is EDEFFO, right? So just EDEFF and then O, right? That's the background color. So EDEFFO. So I'm going to copy that so I can have it in handy, right? EDEFFO. Okay, so I'm going to click OK. And you can see that the color is already showing here. So the font color, I'm going to say black for this one, or even something a little bit lighter. So the colors, so that it can just, let me even use something very light. So it will just blend into the background, right? Just like there's nothing showing in there. So when I click OK, so you see my slicer style now. So I can select it and you will see that this is looking nice already. This is looking very nice. So another thing I can do is right click on the slicer, do slicer setting and untick this display header. I don't want header to be there. We already know it's a product. And I also want to turn this to horizontal, right? So I'll go to slicer here and change these columns to 6. Once that is 6, we have this like there, then I'm going to kind of expand my slicer here so that people can always use this to slice and dice the report. So let me bring it a little bit up here. So as I'm clicking right now, you can see it's already slicing and dicing my report, right? So the same color code that we use for the slicer, why can't we use it for the background? So it's easy. So just do Ctrl A, right, for the entire background, and then let's go to this highlight color and select this color. You see, that's the color of the background. Now they all match. Now there's something here. So my slicer is showing like white. Okay, so that means I need to go back here and right click on it and do modify. So the old slicer, look at the old slicer and click format. So the old slicer fill color should also be that my background color. So I'm going to change this and say my background color. My background color is I think I copied it and I forgot to do that. EDEFFO, right? And click OK, OK, and OK. Now you see that it all blend with my background, so I don't need to kind of everything makes sense now, and I can start doing any report that I want to do or anything I want to do here. So another thing I also like to do is to bring in Adidas logo to this. So I have the Adidas logo saved somewhere on my system. So I'll just go to pictures and save on this device, and then and I'm going to select this Adidas logo here from my downloads. So I'll put all the assets in the description so you can always get in and use it. So I'll reduce the size of the logo and put it somewhere close here, just somewhere close here. I'm getting my dashboard design done a bit. Just the next thing I may probably do is to maybe go to insert and bring in a text box, and let's give this the dashboard a name. So I'm going to just type something here, Adidas product analysis. So let me put that in cap, Adidas product analysis, Adidas product analysis. Then I'm going to put another text down there that says sales analysis for the year 2021 to 2022, sales analysis for the year 2021 to 2022, right? And then I'm going to do a little bit of design to this. So let's make this a little bit bigger, and I think 24 is too much. Maybe 20 is fine. And then in terms of color as well, maybe we can use something not too dark color, right, for this. And let's switch the background off. So shape fill, let's say no fill, and also highlight colors, also no fill, right? So now I have like a small title right now. So let me expand this so that the subtitle can show. And then maybe for my subtitle, I can use that my color, which is the major color, right? Which is this one here. Okay, so I have my title set, I have my report set. So what's the next thing to do? So the next thing to do is to also get some charting here. And how do we build some charting here? So I'm going to go to my report here. So here I have a report of a region by unit sold. So I can easily go here, go to insert and select chart and just pick any of these charts. So I think I prefer this one. So I'm going to copy this one and take it to my dashboard here. So for my dashboard here, this particular one, I don't want the title. I'll get rid of it. So this title, I may need it later. So let me leave it there. So idle field buttons on chart. Another design is I don't need these grid lines. So even this axis title here, I don't need it. So maybe I should just select it and just delete it. So, but instead of that, I can put my data label here. Just put my data label here and just edit this chart a little bit to make this bar a little bit bigger. So how do you do that? You right click on the bar and you go to format data series. So here you just kind of increase the width of the bar and just reduce the gap between the bars. Just reduce the gap. Reduce the gap. Okay, that makes sense. Now, for my data labels, I can do inside hand for that instead of it to be outside. So just say inside hand and select it, and let's change the color to white. So let's say this is white, right? Also for this one, I can select it and then go here. Look at this fill and border. Just select the chart like this, fill and border, go to fill and say no fill. So that way it doesn't have any background at the back. And also the line as well. So you can come to border as well and say no line, so that it doesn't have a line, but I think it can have a line. So let's just give it a line probably. And this line, maybe we should use another color for the line. So we have another color in our color palette. So we can use that another color that we have. So let me go there and see if we can get any color of our choice and just use that. Now we can use this one for the line. So let's say, oh, this one. So the one closer to this one. So let's say we use this for the line of the bars. So then I'll come here and say for my line, I want to use a new color, more color, go to custom and paste this color here and just do okay. So that way I have a new color for the line. So sorry. I have a new color for the line. I can reduce this to 0.5 as well, so it's not too thick. And then I also do rounded corners so that my chart can be rounded. So for the color of the bars itself, so let's change that to our usual color. So I'm going to come here and say the color of the bars should be something that we chose before, which is this one, right? And let's give it a title. So what title should we give to this? So this is region by unit sold. So let's give it that same title. So we just say total units sold by region. Total units sold by region. Total units sold by region. And I'm going to take this close to the left here. To the left here, or let me even put it at the center, anywhere of my choice, right? You can design it the way you want and reduce the size of the Yep. So once I do this, I think I have this already, and I can put this somewhere close here. So let me reduce this a little bit here and just bring this guy here, right? Just bring this guy here. Okay. So this is looking nice already, right? But this color we use for the edges, I'm not feeling it. So let me change it. So I can say, okay, so the bars, let me use white instead. Maybe a little bit of ash instead, right? No, that doesn't come out well. So let's use maybe white, right? So that's one thing. You need to play around with colors. Oh, okay. So I think I prefer this white, and I'm okay with this one. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is let's do another chart. So if I go here, I have another chart here down here, which is the this one, right? And I'm going to also go here and say insert. Let's do another chart, this one. And I'm going to copy it, come here and just paste it, right? Now, because I have another chart here, so I can actually copy this one, copy the setting of this one and put it here. So just do Control C on the one you already done. Click on this one and do Control V. That way you copy a setting of a chart. That's another trick, a great trick, right? Then I can put this guy down here. You see that I don't actually spend any time right now to clean this up. It's just this one, right? So let's reduce the size a little bit and reduce the size of this one a little bit. So this one has white color, so you can change that. So just right click again, format plot area, and then change this one to no fill. So no fill, and then you have your exact colors that you need, right? Okay, so we have the two charts right now. So the next thing we're going to do is to build our card visuals, or even let's build the card visuals, right? So I can go to insert, select different shapes. So go to shapes. So this is the shape that I want. So let's start with the first one. So once the first one is okay, I think we can duplicate it across, right? So I click on this one, and then maybe I should just reduce this a little bit here and create the first one. So this one, you go to shape fill, shape outline. Maybe the outline can be the same thing as that one, which is the white, and your shape fill can be maybe something close to white, right? So that you can actually stand out from your background. So maybe I should use something that is not the background, but a little bit stand out from the background. So maybe something like this is cool, right? Something like this is cool. And here I want to have 3 of this. So Control C, Control V, and then I can just duplicate this guy. Control C, Control V, duplicate this guy. And also I want to put like another round shape at the top of that. So let's go to circle, hold your shift, and then it's going to create a perfect circle for you. So you put that here. So you put that here. And for this circle, we're going to do the outline of this one as well should be white. And then the shape fill. So shape fill, let's use one of this one. So this other blue color. So I'm going to duplicate this guy and then bring it here and just bring this one here. Okay, so now that we have this, so the next thing we may want to do is let's bring in icons. So you can bring in icon, go to icons, insert icons, and search for different icons that you want to bring in. But since I want to bring something related to Adidas, so I think I prefer shoes. So I'll just select this one, and then select this one. So then I'll click insert. Once I bring that in, I can change the color. So grape fill, so we can use maybe something like this one, and the shape outline should be white, right? So then you can place your icons inside the shape, right? So let me just place that inside there, and just place that inside there. Okay, so that way we have this already, and the next thing we're going to do is to put some numbers inside the visual itself. Now, one thing you should notice is that your slicer is only affecting this one. It's not affecting the rest of the visual. So the best practice is right click on the slicer, select report connections, and then let's select all other pivot table that we've created. So that way it's going to kind of apply to everything. So you see that these bars are now changing now. So these bars are now changing. These bars are changing. These bars are changing. So which makes a lot of sense, right? Now, so the next thing I'm going to do is since we now have one product now, so you see these are products also have all its interesting stuff. It has its total sales, profit, and unit. So I want to bring all these numbers here, but maybe I should remove the 2 decimal we have here. I don't like this 2 decimal. Probably just use this 2 decimal, right? So I'm going to bring in another shape. So go to Insert, select the text box, right? Draw the text box right here. Select it and say equals to. Go to your formula bar, do equals to, then you go here and you select the first one. That's the unit sold. So the formula is missing a range of references, invalid. Okay, so once you have this error, right, it's because of this get pivot data. So what you do is you go to your report, you select, let me just escape. So you're not in the formula bar again. So you go to your report, you select any of the pivot table, right? Any of the pivot table, and you go to pivot table design. You see these options to select here. So just click it and untick generate get pivot data. That way it's not going to generate get pivot data. So if I go back now and I do equals to, and I go to report and I select my sum of units sold, then it's going to come here. So let me increase the number a little bit. I'm going to increase the number a little bit. I'm going to centralize it. I'm going to remove the background of the shape, so no fill, and even the outline is no fill. Okay, so I have the total number now. So let me duplicate this here. Duplicate this here, and for this one, I'm going to reference another one. So this one, I'm going to reference total sales, right? So that's total sales, and I'm going to kind of use this guy to just do a format print on this guy, so that way it's returning the same number. But the sales is kind of very big, so we'll look for a way to kind of show it in formatting later, right? So then let me duplicate this as well, and this time around I'm going to reference another thing as well, so which is the profit. So let's go right here and go here and just select this one, right? And that also 45 million. So let me increase the size of this. Now we have our numbers, so you can design this the way you want. I can go to insert and do a text box here again. So in this text box I put the numbers here. So this is total units sold. Total units sold, and then here I'm going to go to shape and just no fill, shape outline, so no outline, right? So that's my total units sold. So copy and paste here. This is my total sales, right? So come here and say total sales, and then centralize it probably, and then I come here as well and duplicate this as well and call this one operating profit. So let's bring this guy here, and then we're going to call this one operating profit, right? Operating profit. Okay, so we have the numbers, and then our slicer is also working. Another thing we want to bring is another chart to kind of fill up the space, which is the line chart. So I'll come here. So we haven't used this one. So this one here, can create a chart on this one. Go to insert again. So select your line. We want this line chart. But before we do that, we need to do percentage of previous month. You know, that's what we said. So to do that, you right click on the number first. You will see show values as, then you pick percentage difference from, and you come here and select previous, because you want to kind of compare the month by the previous month. So you select OK. So you repeat that for the other numbers as well. Show values as percentage different from previous, right? And you click OK. So you do that for the third one. Show values as percentage different from previous, and you click OK, right? Once you do that, let's create a chart. So I'm going to insert this one. We create a line chart. So I'm going to bring the line chart to our dashboard. So we have the line chart here, and you can agree with me, this looks very boring right now, but let's make it look interesting, right? How do we do that? So we right click on this button, any of the buttons. We say hide all fit buttons on chart. So this one, so we move it up. So we just come here to our legend and say, click on the plus here. So when you click the plus, you see legend, and you say top. And now you can see the legend are bringing some funny names, sum of. So we don't like that. So let's go back to the chart itself. And here, let's just call this one profit, and then sales, and then unit sold. So that's unit sold. Unit sold. So if it's not accepting your whatever you're typing, just put a space in front, and then I think it's going to accept that. So you see that look a little bit nice now. So this one, we need to move this guy down. How do we do that? So you select this January, February, you select any of them, right click, format axis. Then here you will see labels. So select the labels, and from next to axis, just change that to low. That way it comes down, right? And it's making a lot of sense. Okay, so the next thing we do is you select the chart itself, go to this fill and line icon. We'll say no fill for the background, and also the border. I think we have a border line. So our border line is white, so we agree we're using the border line, and we also select a rounded corner. We want a rounded corner for that. Let me see if that works. Yeah, that works. Now the next thing is we don't like the way this line looks, so let's design the line. So select one of it first, then reduce it to like 1.5 width, so it's tiny, and then let's maybe we don't need to change the color, but we can say smooth the line. So okay, let's smooth the line. So this purple, this orange on, so I think we can change this orange on, so we don't have funny colors. So let's use this one of these are color, right? And I'm going to change this to 1.5 as well and say smooth the line. So the third one is this this blue. So I'm going to select it as well, the blue, yeah. So 1.5, and let's use another color, maybe one of our color, right, which is this one, and let's say smoothed line as well. So that way we have a very smoothed line, and we can adjust this to, we can adjust our chart now to fit perfectly. So this guy should go here. This one should not have a grid line, so let's untick the grid lines, right? And then let's bring this guy here as well. We can add the trend lines to this as well. So select trend lines, and then let's put the trend lines on profit, and also a trend line on maybe a trend line on profit is fine, right? So this way our report is already looking nice. So one thing I think we should kind of add is let's add more slicers to this, so we can slice by more things. So I can go back to my report, select any of them, and say pivot table, insert slicer. So let's bring in here, and also bring in maybe sales method, right? Sales method, and click OK. So I'm going to bring these two slicers to my report page here, and I'm going to use our slicer design. So remember, if you go to slicer, we have a design. So just select the design. I'm also going to right click slicer setting and say the header, don't choose the header. So we are not interested in the header, right? And now, so also here, you see that the year actually has some numbers that don't have any data. So you can right click and do slicer settings and say hide item with no data. That way it's not going to show this dirty stuff, right? Then let's come in and put it up here. So change the slicer column to 2 so that you can have it as horizontal. So let me reduce the size and bring it up a bit. And also change this one to 3 so we can have it as horizontal as well. And take it up a little bit. Okay. So this way we are selecting, and then you notice that it's only one chart that is changing. So right click, let's do report connections, and make sure we connect this to all of the reports, right? And then I'm going to right click this one as well, report connections, and then I'm going to connect it to all of the reports. Right, so as I'm selecting, all of my reports is changing as well, which is actually making a lot of sense. So the next thing we can do is probably add some interesting comparison to these particular bars that we have here. And how do you do that? So there's a simple step of how you can achieve that, and then there's another way you can actually achieve that. So what you should do is do a percentage of grand total and just add that percentage of grand total here. So what you do basically is you come here, so you can extend it to the thing that you already have here. So what you do is you kind of get the total. So you get the total of this guy. What's the total? And you compare whatever the total is with the percentage. And how do we do that? Because we have this chart already that is already filtering by product. So, and we need the total. If you select a slicer, it won't filter it by total. So what I do is I select this guy and I copy and paste it here. I paste it somewhere here. and then I'll check the name of this pivot table. So it's called pivot table 6. So I'll make sure my product slicer is not controlling this one. So I go to my report connections and I look for pivot table 6 and untick it from here. So that way my slicer is not controlling it. So I just have it like this. So let me even untick this and then it's going to show it. Yeah. So you see that my slicer is no longer controlling it. So if I select men's street footwear here, so it filters this one, but it doesn't filter this one. That way I'm going to get the total. So then it's easy for me to add percentage contribution of each of this. So I can say unit sold, percentage contribution of unit sold, percentage contribution of unit sold, right? Unit sold. Then it's going to be equals to this guy divided by the total of units sold here, right? And you have it here. Then you format it as percentage. So you go here, you format it as percentage, and that's it. So you do the same thing for sales, percentage contribution to sales, right? So, and I'm going to do equals to this guy divided by the total of sales, which is here. And I'm going to have this one as well. Now let's do the same thing for profit. Sale, profit, and I'm going to do equals to this guy right here divided by the profit. So enter. So let me format these two as percentage. So that way you have percentage, and then we can now bring this percentage into our dashboard. So I can go here again, create a text box, put that text box here, and come here and say equals to the unit sold one, which is the 21%. So click enter. So here you have the 21%, and then let me do text shape field should be no field and no outline, right? So you should be able to do that across for all of them and just put a text as well. So let's change the color of this one to maybe any of the color that we're using, and I'm going to increase, okay, so this color, and I'm going to increase the size. Then you can now bring a text box, right? So bring a text box or a particular text box. So I just type this text here and say contributed 21% to the 25% of the total units. So you can do this across for all of the cards, right? Just get this across for all of the cards. So that way you can even duplicate this guide and put it like all of the chart, and that is how you create your dashboard. Okay, so another thing you can do is probably sort this one. So you go here to your report and let's sort this bar. So you come here and say right click, you click on sort, and you say from smallest to largest. So you do the same thing from this one to sort from smallest to largest. So if you come here, you will see that this report has been sorted right now, and it kind of make a lot of sense now. So you can screenshot this your dashboard and then post it on LinkedIn. If you like this content that I created, make sure you kind of do your own, screenshot the page, post it on LinkedIn, and make sure you tag me. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Bye.